Jason. The Wood County Resiliency Center held a volunteer recruitment event to connect community members with local agencies that respond during emergencies. The recruitment event was planned after the recent People's Cartage fire, when many local fire departments and nonprofit organizations put out an urgent call for volunteer help. The goal was to bring together people who want to volunteer with the agencies that rely on trained volunteers during disasters and major incidents. Participating groups included volunteer fire departments, the American Red Cross, Salvation Army, United Way, and the local health department.
It's a nationwide shortage of firefighters, and 20 years ago we had 40 people in a waiting list. Now we're barely breaking 20, and it was lower. We are building up some. And this event here was meant to try to encourage people to volunteer, not just in the fire department, but anywhere else.
Anyone who could not go but still wants information about volunteering can email Sydney Weber at sweber@woodcountywv.com to be connected with the organization they are interested in helping. That email is listed at the bottom of your screen, and you can find it in the online article about this story on WTAP.com. Well,